let's talk a little NFL. Some interesting games starting to be on the schedule now. When I was looking at the schedule this week, 4 games stood out for me. Pittsburgh is at Chicago. I still don't know what Pittsburgh is. And I'm not sure about Chicago, although when you look at their record, they're certainly improved from last year. I don't know what Pittsburgh's personality is.
You know, you raise a good point. So you mentioned 2 teams that I would put an asterisk by. Okay, and I say Pittsburgh, first of all. They got rid of George Pickens, who is now at Dallas. Look at the success that Pickens has had.
Yeah.
Say what you want to say about Dallas, but offensively, minus a couple of missteps this season, they have performed extremely well. And Dak has been playing very well. Pickens just kind of toyed with
The Raiders.
the Raiders on Monday Night Football. And that combination of he and CeeDee Lamb is really good. If they can get, now that they've added a couple new pieces, Quinnen Williams was a big addition and felt his impact right away on Monday night. You know, what could the Cowboys do if the Eagles, drop a couple games here and there down the stretch? Washington is having issues. The quarterback's been injured. So I'm not saying that that's going to be the case, but the Cowboys can't play any worse than they've played defensively all year
they got
long.
the worst out of their system.
Yeah.
I thought coaching had a little bit to do with it too early in the year. They didn't have a pass rush. They were getting chewed up inside. And then all of a sudden they didn't have anybody coming off the edge. I thought the linebackers were pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now it seems like it's coming together, although Raiders are awful.
Well,
gosh,
there is that.
Al Davis has to be turning over his grave and saying, what in the hell is going on?
Sell the team, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do something, man.
So Ben Johnson at Chicago. Look at the ascent of Caleb Williams at quarterback. The one singular difference between Caleb Williams and Chicago is Ben Johnson. And look at Detroit and how they're struggling offensively now that Ben Johnson has departed the Lions.
It's amazing how a guy can have that.
You think one guy would make that big of a difference, but I think he has.
And it's not just the play calling. I think it's more of the mindset because, Ben Johnson, they run the same plays in Detroit that they ran in Chicago. A lot of guys in the organization remember who Ben Johnson was and took some of his stuff. I think it's the mindset that a coach, whether it's the offensive coordinator or the head coach, the impact he has on that quarterback and giving him the confidence of saying, we're not going to put you in a bad situation. We're not going to call plays that we don't think you can succeed at. And I think what they've done is they made it simple for Caleb Williams to find things he can do, not only with his arm, but with his leg. And it's showing. And you know what? He's got a little bit better supporting cast than he had when he first
he really does. And where I think the difference is with Ben Johnson, especially with younger players, is the term coach, is sort of a broad brush, if you will. But to me, a really, really good coach is one who can teach his players to the point where they learn it, absorb it, and retain it. That's what the best coaching does for you. And not every coach is very good at that.
I agree with you 100% because I think, and you picked the sport, coaches have gone back to teaching compared to coaching. And it is a big difference in the two. And I see it in the other sports where guys, whether they come up from the minor leagues or wherever, you see coaches, but it's more individual instruction now compared to the days of, we're going to run this play. Hey, coach, that's a great call. No, we're not running this play. I'm going to teach you how to run this play.
Well, and I've talked about this before at Dallas under the Landry system when it was really working. The key to the offense there is that your offensive personnel understood how you were attacking a particular defense on any particular play. And on each offensive play in that playbook, it had what's called, for those of you who don't understand Latin, who don't understand Latin, is a term called sine qua non. And what it means is it translates, without which there is nothing. So every play has that, as I call it, the SQN, the sine qua non, that if you don't at least execute, what's in that box, there's a good chance the play will not be successful. If you do at least that much, the chances of this play being successful are very good. Now, again, it requires the execution of all 11, but they feel that the way the plays were designed, if you do this much, then you're going to beat the defense.
Let's move on to a couple of other games. Minnesota's at Green Bay. Again, two teams, I don't know who they are. I mean, I thought at the beginning of the year, Green Bay was a team, you better pay attention to them. J.J. McCarthy is too inconsistent for me to put all my eggs in his basket.
Young player.
Yeah, and he's going through the growth process. And here's a guy who hasn't played a lot of football. Mm-hmm. When you think about his last year in Michigan, then he gets hurt when he gets to Minnesota, and he's still trying to find his way. So I think that it's part of the growth process, which is why we don't know who they are. Green Bay, Love is they gave him the keys and the contract to go with it.